Alrighty, Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. We are on Wednesday. We're still doing CERN. We're just down the road from Geneva. Anyhow, let's check out the markets. Let's see what's going on here. And let's switch that over too. Right there. And let's put up over there. Let's go with the dollar index to start off with. Let's see how it's looking this morning. Dollar index. Dollar. Right there. So we start off looking at the dollar, trying to lift up a little bit. Nothing major. You can see just a little positive there. Yesterday was really dead. I don't think they have, like we've said over and over, these markets are trapped in some type of sideways envelope type of, or a plateau. You can come up with whatever names you want to try to call it, but what it really comes down to is that there just isn't the action. As much as it feels like there's action, we have a couple of things making headlines. But overall, the markets are pretty flat. They're pretty steady, and you can see in this case here with the dollar index, you can see it's been working down on that slope, like that, pressing down in that weekly sell. From the fast went into a sell here, the slow went into the sell here on that second little plateau, and it's just. We always used to call it conviction. When you feel you have confidence in something, or you feel like you believe in something, or you accept something, or that conviction. We used to say that, and on the trading floors, right now they don't seem to have any conviction. There's not much of a trading floor anymore either. It's pretty much all upstairs now, all in offices. Market makers are off the floor more than they're on the floor. The Federal Reserve is the buyer of last resort. The specialist system has pretty much been dismantled and thrown away. They don't have anything near the power they used to have. And so the power has gone to the government. That's where the government wanted it. They're the ones that tried to outlaw free markets. And they've succeeded at it, where the pressure is on the Federal Reserve to, this is exactly what 1912 Woodrow Wilson wanted. He wanted a Federal Reserve that took the power away from people in the open market, and what he said, the wealthy people. And what it really came down to is it was not just the wealthy people; it was the free market. People were not forced to buy. Now the government is forced to buy. That's the weird part about it. So in other words, we have a very false base. It's not because of earnings and so forth. It's because it's political policy. And that's going to go in the wrong direction. And obviously it has. You can see we've just jumped over $7 trillion, almost $8 trillion in debt with Mr. Biden in just the last 3.5 years. It's just way beyond anything we ever expected. And the balance sheet, instead of being 300 or 400 million or 3 or 4 billion, the balance sheet now is like it's like 7.5 trillion. It's just all government policy. Command and control. The leftists have gotten what they wanted. They've got it. They got the control of it, and you have the inflation from it, and the lack of confidence. So. We shall see on this next election how that plays out. But I would imagine free markets and free people will win in the end. So, all right. So we go over to, let's take a look at the euro. See what the euro is up to. Is Janos in the house? Is Janos working hard? There it is right there. And right there. And you can see here, I'm going to steal that buy. Just move it over. We're a third day of buy. and it has done nothing but go sideways to down. Did make a new high yesterday, but after the buy, but it's kind of stumbling around now. It's just a tad underneath in the minus by a very small amount. We're still in that weekly buy when it comes to the fast and the slow. The fast went into the weekly buy back in here. The slow joined in right here on that second leg, which that's why we always show you the slow more. We say follow the slow because it's much more less volatile, let's put it that way, and much more consistent. But the fast does tell us where its head's at, and so we're real close to the new platform. We have a second platform being written at this point in time to compete with the first one, and I understand it's almost done at this point. The weeklies were working last week, so we're not going to have the problems there. So in a matter of, I'll find out tomorrow if it's ready for prime time, and we'll be going with the new platform and give that the beta test. Indeed. So that is the euro, kind of stumbling along, and you notice it's playing with that Fibonacci, the 0.23. Just that's that blue line you see there. Let's see if we can point these out right here. Right there is the 0.23. This is the 0.38, and you can see it's bounced off the 3.8, going up to the 2.3. Tried to back off. Now it's hovering it. Did it before like that. Broke down in the middle. Isn't that interesting? 50% of between the 3.8 and the 2.3. The Fibonacci, as we say on our LinkedIn website, before there was a Fibonacci sequence, there was just our CQT, the Chicago, our shape, or I guess it's the Chicago Quant Technologies formula, the shape and value of time. And so SVT, the shape and value of time. And so we're saying basically before the spiral, there was just the shape and value of time, just rotating, controlling, flowing. And so that's interesting. When we put the Fibonacci sequence up on the screen, you see how our math is the leader of it. It's ahead of it all the time. So. And how do we know that? Well, we can see right here. It goes down and visits, like this is a perfect example, visits the 0.38, and our math turns around, jumps through the zero line, and starts to take off. And you can see it hesitating and twisting and turning, but it hesitates and twists and turns in the same direction before it bounced off the Fibonacci. And you can see that with all these. See right here where this is above it and goes and hovers the line, and what do? We turn into basically daily sells, or the weekly joins in and shows us the same thing. And so this is we try not to, we rarely talk about it, but it's always worth identifying so you can understand how to read the charts and see the benefit from it. From there we jump over to the cable. Let's see what the cable's up to today. And there is the cable. And the cable, it's bouncing off of whatever that, this blue line of the Fibonacci. It doesn't even want to go down and challenge the 0.38. You can see that. It has not done that at all. When it leaked through it, it didn't last long and started to turn up, and we saw our math turn up right there. And sure enough, it ran right back up to it. Now it's basically went into the daily buy here, and it's launched itself off of it at the same time. Our weekly joined in there also at the same time. So that's how we can say there's Janos. You'll be somewhere in the background. Excelente. I didn't see anything come in, and I was wondering, I haven't seen you talk about stock or stuff like that. I saw the what do you call it? Was it Microsoft? Which one was it? Oh, Amazon. You were following the Amazon. I see that thing is backed off down to the beginning point again. But we're really, I was saying it to Robin, and I think I said it to you in an email. When we're at all-time highs, it can get sloppy up there. That's why we are 8.5 out of 10, 8.6 out of 10. Because when we get into these all-time high situations, that really really confuses the markets, and it just makes, in other words, Robin was saying to me, I guess we were talking about it. In other words, they backed off the market at all-time highs. I said, when can you? I always used to say that. Remember in the webinars, I'd say, if you don't sell when you're making money, the next time you're selling is when you're losing money. And so, in other words, when you're at all-time highs, if money managers are not taking some profits, they're not doing their job. Dell. I didn't even see what Dell did. What did they do with poor Dell? And so, and what else is there nowadays? I hear you. And NVDA, they're going to split that stock. They've said when NVDA goes, it's going to be 10-1. So it's going to be like $120 stock. If the stock goes up like $12, it'll be the largest stock. It'll be the largest company in the world. And I guess that's the school of microchips, processors. Yesterday there was some action in United Health. There's an article out there, about GameStop and the meme stocks in the Wall Street Journal. They were talking about how manipulated they are. The Securities Exchange Commission is starting to look into that stuff. Meanwhile, currencies just wait for tomorrow. To be honest, they're just waiting for... I think they're waiting for the election like everybody else. Yeah, that'll be cool. I like that when we have action like that. Well, I understand the employment number came out this morning, right? ADP came out. I didn't even see what it was, but let's see what the stock market's doing real quick here. But ADP came out. Where's it at? Let's find the stock market. Oh, yeah, we're at the highs again. You see, they keep on, it's interesting. On yesterday, they took it up and then they drove it down from that, the employment number. And then, it kept on making higher lows there and there and there and took out the high here. These two did not. This did again. And we're making higher highs. And now we are through that. We're just right on the edge of all-time highs in a lot of stuff. Or let's put it this way, a lot of indices, not a lot of stocks. The all-time highs in stocks are kind of thin. It's NVDA and a few of the tech stocks. Sometimes it gets really, really thin about who is leading this market. I'll be looking forward to tomorrow's action. That'll be nice. And let's see. So there's the stocks are just keeping firm. And let's see. Let's go back to cable. And there's cable. So let's grab a green out of that. Steal that green and put it right there. And so this is doing the same thing as the euro against the dollar. What's been impressive is the Swiss. The Swiss franc has been very strong. Let's go take a look at that right there. Swiss franc, look at that. That's when it's going down, it's gaining against the dollar. Remember, it's a dollar Swiss pairs trade, not a Swiss dollar pairs trade. It's the reverse. So when this goes down, it's gaining against the dollar. And you can see here, we went into that sell last week, down in here, after a lot of hesitation going in a sell, buy it, and a sell again. And you can see we went into the daily sell up in here, and it's been in that daily sell. Let's widen that out more. It's been in the daily sell for a while with the weekly now. It's been pressured, consistent. A lot of pressure going on it, and it makes sense. But overall, and like I said, we were looking for like the 89s, and here we are down at the low 89s, which is even nicer. And so, and that is really what the story is all about in the end, is that I think the Swiss have done their job. They've done a great job of dealing with the inflation. and that's probably why money is. I think we talked about it. There was an article about how the Swiss has been locked really well against beating the yen and marching with the dollar more than. And now, at times you can see it's outperforming the dollar. And that's what we're seeing right here, right now, is it's outperforming it. Even with it losing a little bit today, nothing major. But, it's been in that sell since up in here. And the weekly, somewhere in here, went into the weekly sell because that's last week's weekly sell. This is the second week now of the weekly sell. So we always put it at the end of the week. Or I guess you could say it was somewhere around here because you can see the slow broke the manifold. When it breaks the manifold, it's like a 99% chance it's going to close in the weekly. So, it was basically, I think it went into the weekly sell this day, and then, the pressure has been on it since. So, what else we got going on here? Let's go to, where do we go from here? Let's jump over to the yen. See what the yen is up to. And there's the yen. You see that's got that same gig going on. That's interesting. That's going into the sell. Went into the sell last week, and it's jumped right back into the buy, which is curious. But at the same time, the daily has been in that sell. And so it's, basically, and it's been profitable, of course, but, when you're 8.5 out of 10, it usually works that way. But you can see here it's trying to turn up. The weekly is trying to turn up. And that's now remember, this is a dollar yen. So when it's going up, it's losing against the dollar. When it's going down, it's gaining against the dollar. And so that's feeling the same pressure as like the Swiss. In this case here, the Swiss is definitely outperforming. And you can see this poor product here now. The yen is, they've caught a lot of, on the trading desk, they refer to it as the $20 trillion pairs trade, or no, what's it? The other thing when you it's a pairs trade, but it's a carry trade. It's a $20 trillion carry trade in the yen against the dollar. $20 trillion, not billion, not million. 20 trillion. So it's like, ouch, wow. And it's definitely something to think about. It definitely is. That they're spending that much. That's how they borrow. That's how the Bank of Japan borrows, with the giant pairs trade. All right, now from there, we zip-diddy-doo-dah over to, where is it at here? Go over to the Turkish lira. And there is the Turkish lira. As you can see there. Whoop.
Anyway, test.
Oop, I hear that. That's in CERN. That's down the road from me in Geneva. Let's mute that.
Et on a retrouvé les deux micro 6. Test, 1, 2.
Let's see. That wasn't it. Whoop. That's not good either. Let me see if I can kill that. There we are. Trying to kill the microphone out of CERN. All right. There it is. We got it. It's off. No more CERN. We'll go back to that after the webinar. All right, let's take a look at the Turkish lira. I was a little surprised. It's playing with the upper box there. You see that right there. You can see that. Went into the buy here the day before that. What's that? 10% of their equity in what? Turkish lira? Well, we know that this thing is enormously volatile, and there's no doubt that, I mean, there is options, and I've looked at them, but the premium is in the, always like 300 volatility, 500 volatility. It's like the crash of '87 all day long, and the poor thing. How do you get the messages? I sent messages on GME. Let's see, I didn't see them. You want GME high above? Let's see. I'll look up GME. Is that GameStop? Let's go find GameStop. I should know by now. Okay, here we go. Where's the GME? We'll go back. We'll do it in the pizza one. How's that? Oh, there's U.S. Steel. Let's put that in there instead. There it is. High above. Must be really high above. I see. Hey Doc, it's in now on Nevada. What else is there nowadays? Dell. I don't see it at all. I don't see GameStop up there. Oh, there it is. It's in words. And talk about GameStop all over Twitter. I saw that, yeah. I did say something about that. Yeah, like I said, there's a Wall Street Journal thing talking about how the meme stocks are being manipulated. Here we go. Let's see. Looks like the right price. So it's going into the weekly sell now. That's what it's doing right there. The fast went in there up in here. And it went into the daily sell off of that. So I imagine they'll pressure it down into the 20 area or something like that. I think they actually have something. Trying to remember this big giant pop was because I think they got something approved what they're going to they're going to do something software wise or something like that. I don't know, something of that nature where they're going to be able to sell it out of their stores, or they're going to be able to go up on it, or it's going to be interactive, or something like that, or an AI chip or something like that. I remember there was something actually positive with that pop, but $60 is crazy. I heard one money manager come out and say, my son wanted to buy GameStop. I told him it was not worth it, so we bought 100 shares at like $60 or $58 or something like that, and now it's trading at 20. And I was hoping he'd learn a lesson from that because he knew it wasn't worth it. He may have gone and bought a put, who knows, and not told his son. If it was me, I would have done that. I would have bought a put and bought the stock at the same time. And this way make him feel like, oh shit, I've lost 60% of my money. And then I go, see? Guess what I bought also at the same time? I bought a put. And I've made most of that money back already. Like 90% of it, 95% of it, something like that. Yeah, I would have done. That's how I would have taught him. I would have only shown him that we bought the stock itself in a panic, and I would have bought a put at the same time. Yeah, exactly. So there's the GameStop. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you find it down in the 21, 22. I think its fair value might be down in that area because I remember hearing at the time the deal that they signed was something they were looking forward to that could move the company into a better earnings situation, and so that's why it was like that. Okay, there's the GameStop. Cool. So from there we'll go back to the currency unless someone wants to see something else, and we'll go take a look at the South African rand, which I haven't seen anything in the news, but that's not exactly the best sign here as it keeps on finding ways to go up again. So I don't get it. Get what? What don't you get? Why it could get up into the $60 area and then collapse? GM could or is unlikely to move higher due to technicals. No, it's fundamentals. Yeah, it's fundamentals, and the vacation next week. Oh, that's good. You need a little vacay. Nah, it popped to the 60 area, but I don't think that, let's take a look at that. I don't think their earnings are enormous. They're probably trading at some crazy forward number. It's way off course when it comes to it's not worth $60. It's the same thing before when they ran it up to a couple $100. It was all manipulated. I had a friend, he was pitching out the 500 call. He was selling the hell out of them. And for 6 months out. I mean, it was like, forget about it. GameStop. Let's see what it says here on the earnings and so forth. What do we got here? PE is, the beta is a minus 21. Estimated forward dividend, there is none. Ex-dividend, March 14th. 1 year target estimate. I'm not sure if that's the stock or what. Earnings per share is 2 cents a share. It's trading in a PE ratio. Oh my God, 1,325. Let me see if I can put this up on the screen. Let's see, go like that. I'll go like this. And you'll see this. Look at that. That's the PE ratio. 1.325. The market cap is $9 billion. There is no dividend yield. And I think they're saying that the target of I don't know what the 1 year target estimate is, but I think they're talking about the price of stock. You know how they come out, brokerage houses come out with, they think things are going to be this a year from now. I mean, but look at the earnings per share, 2 cents a share for a $26 stock or a $60 stock, however you want to look at it. Let's see, what else can I say? GameStop burned. Andrew left and betting against the stock. Let's see, AMC stock. Let's see what else is there. There's the SEC filing. So yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything there. Unfortunately, it just isn't. When you're trading at 1,300 times PE, ouch. I mean, it's not like they're manufacturing. I think I wonder. I forget what that news was, but it was positive. And that's what drove it up into the 60s. But it's manipulated so much from these these funds that these meme funds. That's what the Securities Exchange Commission said in the Wall Street Journal. Yeah, weird stuff, Weird stuff. Weird stuff. And I don't think there's any other way to describe it but that. All right, so there's the meme stock. Let's go over to, that's right, we were working with the South African Rand. So if South African Rand is up like that, I guess the logic would be is that the gold is down. And I saw silver. Check this out. There is gold. Let's put it in there. There's gold. Gold is up, which you would think it would have been down because of the way South African Rand is moving, and it's trying to get into a daily buy, which is interesting too. Matter of fact, we can put one of those little green lines in there. And you can see the weekly is still in a sell right there. And then check this out. Silver starting to feel some pressure and a little bit underneath the $29 area. But what I want to show you is the beta. Check out this beta. Not that. Where's the beta? I guess it's that one right there. Yeah. So let's get rid of that. And the beta is working its way underneath. This is yesterday's weekly. Check that. Okay, that's popped back up again. Is that silver? Yeah, that's the silver. So the beta this morning was actually underneath for a little bit. That's yesterday. It's gotten very low. It's in that daily sell for 4 days, just like we have it right here in the sell. But you can see here, the fast is broken down like it did here. It's breaking down even faster and getting through the manifold. Something that's maybe moving a little too quick. And then when you go back, there's copper. Let's go back to gold again. There's gold there. Let's put gold up on the beta. Excuse me. And so that's playing with the weekly sell. I mean, what it did is it climbed into the weekly buy last week, and now it's back into the weekly sell again. And it's just and you can see the downwardly slope going on with that. Three out of the last 4 weeks has been in the sell since up in here, in this area. But at this point in time, I don't think. Let's see, is it Doc? What does the algo say for an NVDA? Let's check that out. Let's see. Oh God, I hate this. God, I hate this. You hate the world? No, you don't hate the world. Let's see. Let me read some of these things you've put in there. The organization that is in a coma said that the media is dying. Okay. By the way, I am the only one interested in tech. Look at anything. I see 7 people watching, but as usual, everyone has no interest in anything. I know. I think after the election, things will get better. We see most view traffic after the streams. It baffles me still. What does the algo? I hear you. I think. Look, I think people were just afraid of the market. I understand when the meme stocks took off, money, the volume kicked up, of a lot of people streaming and so forth and paying attention. But overall, nah, not at all. Not at all. I think money is scared. I think everybody's scared. You know what I have seen though? I understand that stocks under $1 are increasing at enormous volume every day. Stocks under $1. Yeah. Yeah. In other words, people are playing the penny stocks because they figure, what can they lose? You buy it for $1, you can only lose $1. Buy something for $30, and you could lose $30. And so that's really being pushed on. Now let's jump over to where's it at? Right, not there, right there. NVDA. There's NVDA. And you can see all-time highs. Climbed into the buy there yesterday. Not sure about what that's all about. Remove. Let's see. Let's put the weekly in there. Went back into the weekly buy right there. The fast was in there a little bit further back, a couple of weeks before that. So stock was in the $900 area. Now we're in the $1,100 area. Yeah, almost $1,200 area. Let's see. We don't have any dailies in that. Let's do this. There's the daily buy right there. Let's see. Someone just dinged me. Let's see who this is. All right. So it went into the sell right there. Let's put the sell in there. And then the daily sell, but you couldn't take it because why, traders? We're in a weekly buy. So you had to stand to the side, just take your profit. And now it's trying to climb into the daily buy as we speak. And it's at all-time high, so it's awful hard, awful hard. Awful hard. Let's see, so that is NVDA. Let's see. So that's where we're at the moment. It's just it's going to be interesting. The stock's going to be 100 and I guess you divide it by like 12 to divide 1,200 basically by 10 makes it $120 stock. Makes it easy. So that will bring in more traders probably, not less. They said if the stock gets to like 124 or something like that, it'll be bigger than Apple. All right. So there is NVDA. All right, let's go over to. I'll look at anything anybody wants to look at, but I don't. What else can we go after? Let's go like this. Now let's go back to. We saw silver and gold. You see copper. The analysis on copper basically is that everybody was excited about what we talked about yesterday and a couple of days back, and that is they thought that they were going to bail out the economy in China. Yeah. But that's the name of the game. And so there's not much, everybody's hoping, I don't know why they have it in their heads, but a lot of people actually think China can bail out the world. I don't get it. I just don't get that. Never did. And I'm not sure, I think we made it very clear when we were looking at the BRIC stocks that Let's see. Yeah. There we go. I know it's tough. It's very, very tough. But okay, now let's go over to platinum. Right there. Platinum doing the same thing, which is really curious. It's got like the pattern of there we are. I just sent you a message too through FB. Giannis. Let's see. So there's platinum. You know, it's just what's copper and platinum having a conjunction with each other, both industrial metals at the same time. Copper is treated like gold in China, and platinum used to be more valued than gold. So there's a baffle right there alone. All right, from there we slide over to the energy sector. Let's see what's going on in energies. There's West Texas Intermediate up a little bit today, playing in the low 70s, 73, 74 area. What was the low there yesterday? Low was 72.90. I'm sorry, 72.50 basically. Same thing today. Low was 72.82, holding up very strong. And then from there, let's go over to. Let's go look at Brent. There it is, right there. There's the crude there. You see the same situation. Been in the sell, in a weekly sell for a while, and we go over to Brent, and there's Brent, and you can see there we've got the sells going on, and same pressure, and you can see the weekly sells there also at the same time. Both are feeling that pressure. Both are feeling the pressure. Okay. What's up? I don't think I have it. If I did, I probably had it because you asked me to put it on somewhere. Well, what's the one I have on here? Let me see. Here we go. See if you see this. And then you can answer that question. I'm curious about the numbers there. Here we go. I'll say hi on this and see if you pick this up on, what is it? There it is. There we are. All right, so you can see, I understand that OPEC is now trying to hold market share instead of market price. There you go. No one can see that. And so the pressure is on that. How about, do you see that coming across the... yeah. What is this? I don't think this is what up. I'm not sure what this is. Dukascopy has their thing on this too. But this is to you directly. I did a hi. This is where I put my title up on, but not, I did it to you directly, not to the broad where everybody can see. Yeah, so if OPEC is really fighting to keep market share, they're going to squeeze the price down a little bit. Probably why they did that, they did a public offering last week. So they did the public offering for $100 billion, and it was it Aramco or something like that, did the $100 billion market, second selling, of stock. And so from there, they come out and say, hey, guess what? We're going to try to protect our market share. We'll push the prices down a little bit to get a better amount of volume out of it. All right. So from there, we go over to natural gas. And there's nat gas. You can see that same situation. It's been somewhat weak and sideways in a weekly buy. So that's been pretty cool. It's been an interesting run all the way up in that weekly buy, all the way back there for 8 weeks now. But it's been in a daily sell. It's been telling us that there's no real, they've given up on the buying. Did you see the high, Giannis? Same device I put my title on. All right. But from there, what high? NVDA? I'm thinking, well, NVDA's at an all-time high today. And, oh, you're doing paperwork in the background. Okay. Yeah, just go to where I put the title up, but it's addressed directly to you for that question I asked. Oh, I am sure you do. I'm sure you're a busy beaver. Let's go to the last of the energies. We'll take a look at the one in Spain. There you go, right there. They've been really locked, which is a little disappointing, really. Look at that. They've been locked in that area for a while now, between 24.5 and 25. Dipped a little underneath it. Really, dead of summer. I would be much happier if they were locked at 19. I'd be looking at that thinking, oh, this is really cool. Maybe Europe is going to get a break on the energy costs for this winter coming up. Yeah. You can text that stuff over me on that. No one can see that but you and me, right? That's directly to you to directly to me. I was just curious of that number you're talking about. Okay, let me see what I'll put that. I just realized you didn't see what I texted you. I'll do it now. There you go. The baffled number you were wondering about? The streaming? Nah. So, let's see, where do we go from there? Okay. So, that's Spain, and that's the natural gas, and I really, like I said, disappointed that the thing can't find a way to be down in the 19s and 20s this time of the year. But then, natural gas did make a nice big leap up. So, unfortunately, it has not been a very good, situation there. All right. So from there we go over to, we've been looking at the different stock indices across the world. We've got about 4 or 5 minutes. Let's see. Okay. So, what else can we say about any of this at this point? I guess the most important thing of all is that we really do see that I guess how do you say it? How it plays out is that the markets are going to be really upside down until the elections, and I don't think. I just it's going to take some news, to really change things, and I just don't see it happening. I think it's just going to be the status quo until then all of a sudden, boom, it's there. Let's see. I think I said it a couple days ago where, markets are trapped in politics and assets stuck in and currencies. Yesterday I said Forex firm and stocks weak, but overall, everything is in. All assets seem to be trapped in a range. Yeah. And it doesn't seem to be stopped. I'm going to use that as the title too. All assets trapped in a range. Because that seems to be the realistic part of it all. And there just doesn't seem to be any way of getting out of it until the politics ends. It's not going to, it just isn't going to change. It just isn't going to change. So, all right, traders. What else we got to look at? We've got, let's see, where else we go? I guess we're really at the end of this. We can take a look at, what are we going to look at? Let's look at some of the beta stuff. There it is right there. Let's go take a look at the Nikkei, see how the Nikkei played itself out. Right there. There's the Nikkei. And you can see it's up, but with a red, and it's got a daily buy from yesterday. They really can't get any of these markets to move anything more, I guess. And at the same time, notice they keep on making higher highs, constantly making higher highs, and that's because the markets are really at a point now where they just don't have any other direction to take. Because they know one thing. The polls are showing Mr. Trump's going to win big. And no one wants to bet against that at this point. So, we saw the Dow double under Mr. Trump. Almost triple. And so Biden, pretty much we're right where we left with Mr. Trump. That's the problem. It's just a little bit higher, not much. And that's what the real problem is. And there's no stopping that problem. And Trump can, will take these markets and they'll go zooming. They will literally go zooming. And so it makes it awful hard to walk away from that. And no one wants to wants to be trapped in a situation where they're not in. It's bad enough money managers have been on the wrong side of it now for something like 2 years. They're all underinvested. And so they've got no choice but to think of in the other direction. They just need to do that, and they're just going to have to do that. They don't have a choice because their investors are they give them money to invest. That's what it comes down to. They're paid to invest, and when they don't invest, they get sued. I saw one of these money managers who's really good, and Chanos or one of those, and out of nowhere he's being sued because he didn't follow the manifesto. He makes money, but he's getting sued by his investors because they don't. Their whole idea is that they're supposed to be invested, and they're not as much as they're underinvested, and that really freaks them all out in the end. All right, traders, we're done. We will catch you all tomorrow, same time, same channel. This is Doc from North America saying, happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Later, traders. Have a safe and smart trading day. We'll catch you tomorrow. Ta-ta for now.